all. Welcome back to another episode of the Jagged Edge. This is Ian here, starting to nurse a bit of a cold, along with Chris.
Yeah, I'm sick too.
Yeah, you should. I knew you. I told you not to give that to me, but look what you did. Ugh, it's the worst.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we're gonna talk about stuff and things, and I'm gonna make fun of some stuff and bitch, and he's gonna try to keep an even keel about it, but I'll probably swear every once in a while, and then we'll be done.
That's the script. Don't believe him.
No.
Promise. Man, Mister, you're plotting today. I get it. You feel like crap. Maybe I'll be the eccentric one.
Yeah, see, we're gonna talk about some trailers. We're gonna talk about some games. Final Fantasy actually made the news finally. with stuff, and then there'll be an info minute.
You know where the train's going.
We'll talk about something like chicken or somebody did something weird.
You know, if it's like that, I'll just cut that.
Like the info minute?
Yeah.
That's the only reason people listen if they listen.
You know. Well, who knows? Maybe I might just throw you a curveball.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It'll be about turkey this week.
Darn it! Why you gotta open your mouth? Lord Almighty.
Sorry.
Anyway, Purge.
The Purge trailer.
This is freaking hilarious. You know, we were talking about this a bit beforehand. Now, I stumbled across this last week and just sort of kept going like a speed bump. I chuckled at it, but I don't know why I didn't make much of a deal out of this until you brought it back up.
Right, and we didn't talk about this last week, and it just completely went by my radar until after the show. It's sometime late or early this week. I caught it. I love it. It's hilarious. It's playing off a lot of animosity that's going on in current politics, but that's smart, and I think it's funny. It's trying to bridge a gap that's been around since the Purge movies, where it's like, how the hell did we get to a point where we've nominated a 12-hour period where you can just kill people,
right?
And that's the American way, and it's poking at some bears, but it's fine. It's fine, people. It's not real. Right. No one's expecting a real Purge. It's not going to happen. But yeah, no, that was fun. I thought, hey, take what's going on in current politics and run with it, and see what you can do. I thought it was funny though for what it is, even though we don't see it. See, now, we're going to talk about some trailers this week. We're going to talk about a lot of them, and we're going to talk about the Venom trailer, which I do not like, and we'll get to that. Now, here you have a 30-second trailer that showed us nothing about the movie, but told us a lot about the movie.
It did.
Whereas with the Venom trailer, we had about 2 minutes of stuff that told us nothing. And we'll get to that. But yeah, great job. In fact, the fact that this is just crafted the way that it is and it's done the way that it is makes me want to see it more.
Yeah. No, man, like for sure. I instantly thought back to the last Purge trailer that I saw. It was, of course, way more direct when you actually get the theme, what the focus is. But this is the kind of stuff you need. I mean, anytime you got a turbulent environment, art, if not comedy, I think is or somewhat some kind of satirical lens is always a really good way to navigate this stuff. So, clutch.
That's right. But it was funny.
Oh yeah,
you could see it. The first Purge.
Check it out. Yeah. All right. Right on the heels of Purge is something we just can't stop talking about, and we got heaps of it recently. Yeah. That is Avengers: Infinity War. We got a trailer that is nothing short of a barrage. It's the best way I can describe it. Marvel knows what they're doing.
And potentially, we are the first to notice something there. I've not seen anybody say anything about this. And I watch way too much on YouTube, and I read way too much shit on the internet. And I have seen nothing about what I pointed out and what you and I have pretty much all but confirmed.
IGN, to be fair, IGN beat us to it on February 6th.
Shut up. Really? I didn't see anything about that.
They
Well, I don't check out IGN, all right? I don't go to fast food websites like that.
just what you
No, I go to IGN every once in a while. I try to avoid them though, honestly.
yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, but all right, so there you go. So they found it the next day.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
besides that, it's all us.
yeah, it is. I mean, they can have their GMO foods. We keep that stuff out of what we do here. So
I'm not, yeah. I don't go to IGN for game reviews, that's for sure.
no, I think that's a smart. I think you're smart for that.
Yeah, which is, yeah, okay. All right, anyway, so completely wrong about that.
No,
All
it's good. It's good. But we'll dive right into that. But there's a whole lot we got here.
Right. So the notes put together for this is not talking about some of the things that are obvious in the trailer. This is more just about things that weren't quite so obvious. So we're not pointing out too much beyond that.
Right. The first up is my man, Spider-Man, is seen in the Iron Spider suit that was teased at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming that, of course, he did not accept from Tony Stark. He ended up going back to Queens with his normal suit, but he clearly has it here right up at the start. He's standing with Iron Man, also with Doctor Strange. Interestingly enough, though, we also see him without the suit later on. And also, he also gets rid of his mask. Too.
Without his mask in both shots.
Yeah, I wonder about that. You know, you were saying some time ago that you believe Spidey's gonna get smashed by Thanos. I'm like, nah, it can't ever happen.
Well, everyone's gonna get smashed by Thanos.
Okay, eventually, it can't dodge that.
But I thought it was gonna happen early on.
Right.
Like very early on. This is the first time I'm thinking maybe not the case, but I don't know because everything's indicating that Iron Man and Doctor Strange are together early on as well.
Right.
So I'm not sure, but it's interesting because in the original, the actual trailer that we got a little while back, he's in his Iron Spider suit on whatever that giant circular thing in the air is. In this one, you have a quick glimpse of him on the same thing, but not in his normal Spider-Man suit.
Right.
But then we see him as well in the Iron Spider suit. So there's a little I will at least say that I think he's going to play a bigger role than I thought.
Yeah.
In this movie, I'm not to say that he will not get completely crushed though, but I'm definitely leaning a little bit further away from that now.
Right. What if it's something in between? What if the Iron Spider suit gets crushed?
With him in it, then I was right. So I don't. You mean I no I. What I think happens is because you see Peter Parker in the bus and on the trailer, he sees that whatever the hell that giant circle thingy of death is in the air. I think he goes to inspect it on his own.
Yeah.
And I think Iron Man sees him and then offers him. He's having a hard time being up there and dealing with everything that's happening with whatever that thing is. Iron Man sees him and offers him the suit again, and so he changes into it and then goes back up. That's what I think happens.
Makes sense. Sensible to me.
Yeah.
Finds out. Sweet.
And then Thanos destroys him. Which I don't want to have happen. But
I don't
just got
either.
that feeling. I'm not getting my hopes up about seeing a lot of Spider-Man in Infinity War.
All right. Tell you what, I'll be that guy that does. So I'll take all the disappointment for you if it does not go how I hope.
Yeah, if it doesn't go the way that I think, then yay, lots of Spider-Man in Infinity War. So, I win-win either way.
We'll see. Speaking of outside of suits, now we do get a couple shots here about Iron Man outside of his suit, but you have the latest latest version of his arc reactor.
Yeah, did you notice that the first time you saw this trailer?
Yeah.
I did not. I guess I'm just freaking blind. Yeah, no, it's the first time we've seen his latest arc reactor actually shining through clothes, which we haven't seen. I think since Iron Man 3 we haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah, so that's a little surprising. I mean, I'm sure it's not still embedded in his chest, but because they took care of that. But yeah, no, that was interesting. I thought that was noteworthy.
One thing and that this plays into as far as what we're seeing with just outfits and whatnot, and just the sort of vibe. I'm really interested how we've gone from this tone of someone like Tony Stark or superheroes having this very broad, huge public presence. I look at Tony Stark and Iron Man 2, the start of that top of the world, introducing the new line of Stark products and stuff like that. But post Civil War, especially, you have a lot of instead of seeing all these shots of the Avengers together, you have all these separate groups. They're working in pretty covert. Cap is off, gathering, his own forces. You have Tony Stark off doing his own thing and whatnot. But they usually only see appearances 2 and 3 at a time. Some in street clothes and things like that. So it feels a lot more clandestine than just big and grand like the earlier movies did. So
yeah,
cool. Thor and Loki. Of course, likely Thor getting pissed off that Loki, crossed him again.
Right. So I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
And did Loki, because you see again in that first trailer, you see, I think you actually see Loki giving Thanos the cosmic cube.
Yeah, he has it. I don't know if he's handed to Thanos, but he clearly he's got it. I mean, anybody who doubted coming out of Thor Ragnarok, yeah, he has it.
Now, is Loki crossing Thor again, or is Loki finally not crossing somebody and actually doing what he should be, even though he's a bad guy, in honoring whatever agreement he had with Thanos? Because that was the whole thing with the original Avengers.
Right.
Original Avengers movie, I should say. So, yeah, I don't know. At this point, though, Thor's your own damn fault.
Yeah, it is.
This guy, he flips back and forth more than a freaking transformer. So, and you should just know better at this point than to trust Loki. It's crazy.
Of all things. So
right. Well, I mean, and you see him looking through whatever that spaceship or whatever he's in, just kind of looking at Loki, and Loki's like, he'd just be like, "What? What? I'm Loki. How many times have you seen this now?"
Yeah, it's like, this is what I do. You not get this, Lord.
So yeah, it's that'll be funny. I don't think they'll ever kill Loki, but I would probably love to see Thor smash the shit out of him.
Oh man, who wouldn't? No, I would.
That would be fun.
Oh man, we'll have to settle for the good Hulk smash he got though.
Yeah,
Avengers first.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll see it. Who knows?
Cool. Captain America. He's seen side by side with Black Widow. This looks like pretty much like that same facility that they were in Civil War, discussing the disarmament terms and things like that. So
yeah,
you got Vision, and now wait, as we were talking about right at the start of this segment, who the heck is that?
There's somebody behind Captain America. Someone who's like 4 feet tall.
Yep.
And they're short.
And went through a couple iterations about this. At first, especially because of how reflective it seemed, although it seemed like a flick of hair, potentially blonde hair at first, and then you look at the frame closer, and it looks almost like a piece of a suit, and said, well, wait, maybe Iron Spider? No. I really don't think so.
And a cape.
Yeah, and a cape too.
There's a cape.
That's another big part.
So it's clearly Superman.
Spoiler.
They're bridging the gap here between DC and Marvel, and
the plan all along. We didn't need a DC universe. It was just going to come to MCU. And then the other place my mind immediately went was Adam Warlock. But Marvel they've been on record stating that Adam Warlock is not going to be in Infinity War at all.
No, he will see him in the 4th one.
Right. Guardian, I think likely, honestly, Guardians 3.
Really? No, because in the main timeline, because we've talked about how in an alternate timeline Spider-Man gets the gauntlet,
right?
But in the main timeline, Adam Warlock gets the gauntlet.
True. This is true.
So no, we'll see him in the 4th one. I think we'll see him in the 4th one.
We'll see. I'll be interested to see how they break him out, but I know it's definitely can't be him. The other place that I went with this one was potentially Doctor Strange, maybe, but I don't think that adds up either. Just due to the way his garments work. This has led us to none other than Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel. And IGN approves of this days ago. Which, by the way, when did you see that on the 6th, or did you look that up after I pointed this out to you?
I looked that up after you pointed that out.
You wanted confirmation.
I wanted confirmation.
Okay, is that the only one you found?
It's the only major source I found. I mean, see, here's the thing: they're sourcing. If you want to be technical, they source from some Twitter notes too. So there might be a couple of other random things out there too. But they're the ones with the big article on it. So
okay, well we're a random thing too. So, but yeah, I hadn't seen anyone else on it. So I thought, hey, potentially. But whatever. It's the internet. There's nothing original anymore in 2018. So that's fine. But yeah, no, that's Captain Marvel, and that's pretty awesome. We weren't, Marvel is doing something they haven't done, where basically their movies happen in the order of which they come out. Generally speaking, they happen around that time. In a couple cases, they've specified if it's been different, but this would obviously be a huge difference. That being said, Captain Marvel, the movie, which happens between Avengers 3 and 4, is, I guess, technically a prequel, taking place in the 90s, so they can do this. And I think that's why I think this is the main reason why we got some quick 30-second teaser with this opportunity. It makes sense that Captain Marvel's working with the government.
Right.
She used to be in the Air Force. Her origins somehow are related with S.H.I.E.L.D., as Nick Fury is going to be all over in the Captain Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. I believe this is Captain Marvel and Vision bringing in Captain America and Black Widow, who have been on the run since Civil War.
Cool.
Because even though you see Black Widow and Iron Man talking near the end of it, Iron Man openly says to her, they're going to be after you as well, because he helps them get away. And yeah, I think I think early on in the movie we're going to see the whatever existed of the Secret Avengers is going to be handled quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Captain Marvel.
There we go. Sweet. And hopefully,
or it's Superman. Or it's Superman.
Don't tell Ross. He's was it Sergeant or General Ross? He was drowning.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, there you go. He was drowning himself in drinks at the end of Hulk, and then he pretty much looks like he's going to botch from how the Civil War ended. Cap goes to break everybody out. So cool. Nebula. Looks like she's poised to attack somebody. Probably Thanos.
Oh yeah, that's Thanos. She's about to die. That's what you see right there.
Yeah, look, I'm actually 100% with you there. Like the thing that really got me thinking about Nebula was actually in Guardians 2. Just of course her interactions with Gamora and whatnot, but just the way she strikes out on the solo mission. I mean, she so badly wants to get a hold of Thanos, but it's suicidal. I
think it probably would have been suicidal before the Infinity Gauntlet. It's definitely going to be suicidal here.
Now it really
is. You're going to see a one-punch kill. Or maybe he'll torture her.
I'm thinking
he might do that.
Zero hit KO, no scope.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of fun to point out, though. Nebula's, she's obviously getting all pissed. She's getting ready to attack. And it looks like in the same area, in the same environment where Thanos legit one-hit punches and KOs Iron Man. It looks like kind of the same thing. So I think that's where we're going to see attack from a bunch of our super-powered people attacking Thanos, and he's going to make a point with her and just destroy her.
Every class needs an example.
Yeah.
Well be it. You caught this one. I wasn't looking at this. Scratches on Thanos' face. What's up with that?
Yeah, they're not very. They didn't break the skin or anything. And I was trying to figure out, well, now who, what could have done that? And even though IGN on Tuesday probably already said it was Wolverine, I don't think so. I think that's a swipe from Black Panther.
Yeah,
it would seem to match the size and the width between his typical claws and such. Yeah, it didn't break the skin, though, which is kind of crazy for vibranium, but, yeah.
Scary stuff.
But yeah, so there's lots of little things, and again, this is all besides all the obvious stuff that was in this 30-second trailer. Um, yeah, we're gonna have fun. A couple months away.
Here we go. Awesome. Speaking of fun, the Deadpool 2 trailer.
This was more fun.
It was. This was, and I'm talking start to finish, down to finish of the freeze frame we have for the release date with Deadpool just bathing in a shower of bullets. This is just hilarious.
I lose it every time, and I've watched this about 10 times now. And thinking about it makes me want to laugh. When he pulls out the action figure dressed up like the cowboy from Toy Story, and he's like, "Reach for the sky!" And every time, I just lose it. It's hilarious. This is so great. This trailer is awesome. Possibly a little sneak peek of X-Force there. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and bring that up? It's near the end. Where he's come, it looks like they're looking out the back of a helicopter, a giant helicopter plane, and you've got him and Domino. What could possibly be GW Bridge and Shatterstar, and I don't know who the other guy is, but possibly some X-Force going on there. This is just fun. This is great and fun. Let me know when you found it.
I got it right here. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Yeah.
I officially approve of Cable at this point. Haven't had enough of an opportunity to say one way or the other, but seen him in action like this, I officially approve of this version of Cable. It's not exactly like the comic, but that might have been too hard to pull off. But I think this looks good.
Same. Absolutely. And also, this is I think a great demonstration of striking the ridiculous third wall breaking ability as Deadpool and just sheer goofiness with the serious themes of Cable. Just flat out cool. But this fits. There's nothing I'm seeing Cable wise that I think is like off, out of character, whatnot. Pure fun, man.
No, and the best part is that he's taking himself way too seriously. He's very Cable dramatic.
Yep.
It's all about how bad Cable feels about something. And I think seeing that alongside Deadpool and how he's going to react to things, I think it's going to be great.
Fantastic. It sort of takes me back to what she had in the first Guardians with Grax.
Mm-hmm.
With him side by side with Star-Lord and everybody else, just made it great. The fact that he literally has no comprehension of dry humor or idiom or anything like that. He made for great interactions. So sweet.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
And that's set for May 18th.
Also May.
Love it. Love it.
And we'll get that a couple weeks after Avengers.
Cool.
I think in between is Solo.
No, you're probably right. Let's take a quick look at that.
May's a busy month.
Awesome.
I don't blame you for wanting to avoid the next topic.
I'm sitting here trying to skate around it, but well, here's one that didn't tell us a whole lot of anything. The Venom trailer.
And by the way, I was wrong about that. Solo comes after Deadpool.
So it is going to follow after. Yeah. Still,
yeah, this trailer sucked.
Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of anything. I mean, I think here's
what you get. I don't know. Did you even notice this? That at the very, very end, when Tom Hardy's freaking out and he's almost spasming, did you notice that in his veins some blood starts coming, or some black starts coming up through his blood veins?
Yeah, like right.
That's it.
Right in those last few frames.
That's all you get. That's your Venom. That's all you get, people. You get nothing else.
And there's that little peak near the middle, about I guess this 75%.
Oh, you do get to actually see the symbiote.
You do.
So yeah, I mean, but I could have done that with a glass cup and some Jello pudding or something. So.
You got some weird Jello, man. I don't want any of that.
Well, all right, there's more Jello pudding for me. It's fine. Make fun of my Jello pudding.
But no, I mean, I guess let's look at something we would want to see for Venom without it giving itself away. If you could pick any one thing or a couple things just about maybe thematically, or just sort of along the lines of what's the setup here? You have Venom and what's the antagonism? What's the pull? Any of that? I mean, what would you be looking for out of Venom trailer 2? If you had your choice.
Which we will get one. This isn't coming out until October.
Right.
I just show us Venom.
Yeah.
It's at some point, just for a second. And I guess for a teaser, I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting more than this. We do get a couple things. Just it shows us that this place takes place in San Francisco. I forget the name of the corporation. What was it, the Life Corporation or something like that? We get that basically confirmed that it is about that. We kind of see that this is not going to be. I guess it's not confirmed, but it certainly feels confirmed that this is not going to be a situation where Venom's or the symbiote and Brock, their typical interaction. This is something that looks like it's more inside of his body.
Yeah. Which that could be terrible.
So now I'm not too sure if this is going to be an alien symbiote or if it's going to be something created.
Right.
I don't know. But we this is going to take place in San Francisco at least, and we know that. And in the Life Foundation or whatever they're called, that corporation is going to be a part of it as well, which means that we're probably going to see 10,000 symbiotes. I wasn't a fan, for what is supposed to be an R-rated, mature, adult-oriented, horror-themed genre franchise, Spider-Man, Spider-Verse, that
right.
Sony's supposed to be creating. This looked way too flashy. I was expecting darker. I was expecting things. I was expecting it to look a little bit more lower budget. This looks like a big AAA high budget movie. I was looking for something a little bit grittier than that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm disappointed in that regard.
Fair enough, man. I mean, I'm actually interested to hear if we're going to really pursue the Life Corp theme to the variant, if we are indeed going to have a lot of multiple symbiotes confirmed, or what's really going to be the hook that keeps us attached here. I mean, obviously, he'll have his bond with the symbiote, but then what? I mean, the classic setup for Venom always is, from what I read, he is nearly always paired off against Spider-Man or Peter Parker in some way, and then what spins from there just goes the way it does. But you won't have that here, so.
Well, so I mean, how did you feel about it overall? I mean, you are a bigger Venom fan than I am.
I am. Venom, Spider-Man universe in general. I really just left this trailer just wanting more, man. This is one I'm really interested in, and I mean, Venom has always been. I've always loved the stories when he's been involved. Paired off against Spider-Man, or even when they have to team up, or when something else is going down, he always adds this spice to the stories that I just love. But I'm really left in wanting here. I'm gonna wait till trailer 2 or beyond, and hopefully check back in on this one and have some more tools in the toolkit.
I am so worried Sony's going to jump the shark with this thing.
You rightfully should be.
I'm so nervous about it. They're riding high on Homecoming money, and Spider-Man's back at it, and let's do our stuff. Oh God. Are you sure? Are you sure you wanna? All right.
Oh man. Crazy. All right. That was I think basically most of the end of the trailers we've run across, but the first reviews for Black Panther are out. Been digging through some of these this week. Love the reception. It's been very positive. Really, I don't think any single major negative criticism. I mean, there was a couple of reviews from Ireland. Someone was saying that something along the lines of more crime fighting or whatever else, but that's just minutia.
Was more crime fighting, or they
wanted more crime fighting. Stuff like that.
This is kind of a different scenario.
It is. And that's what's really exciting about this one. If you got in the mode of some of the hamminess we've seen with Humorized Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, this is going to be taking a departure from that. Of course, more serious story, gearing up for Infinity War, likely delving a whole lot into myth and culture. I can't wait to see how that's handled. Wakanda has been outside of this whole loop that we've been dealing with during our arc. I mean, we've got our first, glimpse of Panther during Civil War, but now we're going to find out what is his home nation all about. What role are they going to be poised to play in the struggle with Thanos? And really, here's a place untouched by the rest of the Marvel world.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll have the review for this up by this point next week. We'll have already had it up. Yeah, I'm excited. Looking forward to this. This, I mean, yeah, it's going to be very different. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to end up tying things up nicely going into the next movie, which is Civil War, blah blah blah, which is Infinity War. I think we're going to see a Winter Soldier brought back, who we've seen in the trailers at this point is confirmed to be back for Infinity War. But yeah, but I think I think this is going to be the launch of a new franchise for them. This is going to be. Cool. I think this is the closest thing that we're going to have as far as technology and stuff like that to Iron Man, where there's some obvious similarities there as far as advancement of technology, and I think this is going to basically be your replacement of that, although it's not going to be anything like them. But yeah, I think this is the first of at least 3 Black Panther movies we're going to get. Everything I've been hearing is said that it's good to, like I said, somebody even said it was life-changing.
Wow.
Okay, that's a little weird, but all right.
Especially for the Marvel movie, man.
Yeah. I'm expecting to have fun, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be as crazy as what we've seen with Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy. This is we're back on Earth.
Yeah. In more ways than one. I'm excited to have something more grounded. I think this is really going to set the pace, and get us fully clawed in for what we're about to see. So, I am on freaking edge for this one next week. And tune back into our channel to check out the review. That'll be up fresh.
Yep, non-spoiler and spoiler review for that one.
Sweet. Spinning over to Star Wars. Piece that you caught. There's a new writer, producer team for Star Wars movies announced. Disney came out with some news on Tuesday that David Benioff.
Well, I can't say I caught this. I saw it on IGN. Actually, I saw it on my Facebook feed. So this one just kind of came out
through IGN, of course.
Yeah, no, through Star Wars actually, through Disney. But yeah, so new writer and producer team. Disney announced it on Tuesday. David Benioff and B.D. Weiss? Yeah. Those guys. The executive producers for HBO's Game of Thrones series are going to be doing a series and need to specify that is not said trilogy because that has not been confirmed, but a series of Star Wars films. So that could be 2 to anything past 2, but maybe not 3. It's just been noted in a couple places that I've seen that it is not said trilogy. So they're kind of pushing away from, we didn't say they're doing 3 of them. Nor does it say that they will all take place as a synchronized story. Wow. Yeah, so a couple things to see out of this. So what we have at this point is we have potentially several movies that have been announced, at least as far as their creators who are putting them together. You've got Rian Johnson's shit-eating trilogy that's going to happen. You've got Episode 9, but discounting Episode 9, we have the official Ben Kenobi movie, which hasn't been officially announced, but basically has been officially announced. And then we have whatever these guys are doing. Social media reactions to this were kind of mixed. I was a little surprised. I mean, I have not watched Game of Thrones. I have not sat down and watched it. I've seen enough of it, and I have enough friends that are fans of it. I respect it as quality work.
Right.
Now I understand why some people don't like it because it's very graphic
Right.
and it's very raunchy, and I mean the raunchiness of this show is covered in the guise of a quality show, but it's very graphic, it's very raunchy, um, which is typically my bag, but I'm gonna get caught up on it though. But I mean, from what I've seen, a lot of people not happy with these people. I'd say from what I saw, it was about a 50-50 split that these guys are doing this. I'm thrilled because I mean, you know, in one thing, I'm not going to get in a whole Ryan Johnson thing, but one of the many things that we didn't get. Did you notice we didn't get a lightsaber duel?
True. This is
I
true.
mean, these guys are all about dueling with medieval type weapons, so I'm definitely feeling it's going to be lightsaber heavy. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. I mean, this is going to, with these guys behind the helm.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't expect it to be rated R.
Right.
It's Disney and it's Star Wars, but I am expecting a lot of dramatic interweaved plot and a lot of people fighting. And I mean, could you say I'm mistaken for that, considering what they're working on now?
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I think a couple of, or at least a good epic lightsaber duel, swordplay is needed.
Maybe these guys will bring us the KOTOR that everybody wants.
Maybe. And just thinking of the content they could pull from here. I mean, Star Wars is just, I don't subscribe to be someone who's delved into all the rest of the fiction or the books and everything out there.
You would not be able to get caught up.
I wouldn't.
If you started now, you would die before you finish.
It's hopeless, man. It's almost like trying to catch up with like one of the insanely long, anime series. Like
you'll be reading Cliff Notes for years.
I would. It's like One Piece and Naruto combined, or something crazy like that. But no, I mean there's a sick amount of content to pull from this. So hey,
right.
Shoot, anybody's guess.
Well, and so some of the complaints, and again, I'm only talking about the complaints. A lot of people were very happy with this. They're psyched that these guys are going to be putting together Star Wars things. But one of the other common complaints was, well, geez, these guys are just creating something off of a book. Someone else wrote this, and they're putting it together for HBO. They're not really writing anything, which basically is true. I mean, they've had to change some things, and the TV show has passed the books by this point, so they've had to come up with some stuff there. But for a lot of the hardcore Star Wars fans, isn't that what you want? Don't you want to see more legends brought into canon? I mean, I'm a canon fan. I'm not a Legends fan. I mean, I know about a lot of the basic stories, but I'm not a Legends fan. I'm not a hater either. But I mean, wouldn't that be the way? A lot of people want a lot of Legends stuff to be brought into canon. Wouldn't these be the guys to do it?
Makes sense to me.
I mean, so I would be excited about that even more so if I was a Legends fan, because I mean, hey, if what they do is bring books in onto the screen, and they're arguably some of the best ever at it.
Right.
I definitely won't say the best. The Lord of the Rings is the best, but that's yeah. But yeah, I mean, geez, be excited for this.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now, some people also think, and I would like to believe this, I'm not sure if I do, that this is eventually going to be what's going to replace Ryan Johnson's trilogy. There's still no word about that. Although I did see I saw a recent interview with him where he's basically bitching about all the work that he has to do with this trilogy. Shut up. You go ahead and quit anytime you want. Go ahead and quit just anytime you want. Anytime you want to stop making that Star Wars trilogy, you're going to make a lot of people happy. But it is kind of weird that they are announcing this now. This does almost feel like it's an announcement. It's a little bit of damage control.
Yeah. And the thing I think you want to do, I think what causes some panic, I think in any fan base is, what will be the canonical thing on the books? Do we have anything else to look forward to after the current trilogy concludes? What else is on the horizon? And I mean, hey, what better way to say, hey, wait, everybody, hold on. This isn't the end of everything Star Wars. There's going to be an entirely new arc plan. Look forward to it. So
Well, and for myself and for my opinion, because I'm not going to go see the Ryan Johnson trilogy, I won't catch a single one of them. I was wondering that myself. Well, where does this go then after episode 9? And so now I know they're working on something. They're working on something that isn't Ryan Johnson, is going to be working on some trilogy, at least right now. I think at the end of the day he's not going to get it. And if they do continue production with that, I believe the first one will do so badly that the other two won't be made, because there's just so many people that aren't going to support that trilogy. There's
Right.
so many. And I'm not saying it's an overwhelming majority, but it's going to be enough. It's going to be enough to where they're not going to sink $400 million into Star Wars movies just because the Star Wars movie and not get enough return. They barely got enough return from The Last Jedi. So,
Enough
yeah.
blood has been spilt.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day they're going to end up canceling that. But
Yeah.
um,
Fair enough.
yeah, I'm excited about this. This feels more like the kind of people who I would like to see continue on. And if this is the trend that they're going to be doing, instead of trying to bring in the trend that they've been doing, Lucasfilm's been doing with these Star Wars movies, is bringing in younger talent and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If this is the trend that they're going to be doing, I like this. This and what's his name for Solo? Oh, the director.
Got me.
Opie.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we go with Opie? No, we look up Opie. Ron Howard. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. I can appreciate them wanting to bring in new talent and doing stuff like that, but really at this point, just bring in some solid directors and creators. I think that's the way to go here. I'm not liking the experimentation that they were doing with these younger, newer creators. It's not been working. They had to almost completely redo Solo. They did massive reshoots for Rogue One, which I still don't know if that were necessary.
Right.
Ryan Johnson has led the whole franchise astray. Whether you like the movie or not, that is undeniable. The future of Star Wars is in question. Yeah, give it some established people.
Space. Give it some space.
What do you think?
Like, as far as the directing talent, I mean, I got no objections to the crew that they're having come on board. I think that can expand a whole universe of things. I've kind of already alluded to that.
No, I mean as far as using more established creators instead of letting more newer directors and writers play with
it depends. It depends on, I think, what aspect those newer generation creators come from. I have a difficult time, as being an artist as well, of writing off everyone from a certain generation, of saying you can't do it, that it only takes an older head. I get it. Star Wars comes from some very, very old established roots, and there's a certain wisdom in having that rooted in some of the more aged creative talent. Now, I really think it depends on the level and temperament of who you pick. If you get someone on the younger spectrum, or that sort of new talent, that could be a good thing if you're looking to put certain parts of the franchise in someone's hands long term. But that's if and only if A, it's not going to become I think an ego trip. They're running with it. B, sort of seizing the canon for their own vision. In other words, you sacrifice what the foundations you've built to try to satisfy a new appetite. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't work. I think
you're right. Respect the source material.
Respect the source material, and I have a difficult time saying that is impossible for a younger creator to do. I think that can be done, but that will take some very, very scrupulous recruiting. Be careful with that. Don't know. That's something I think that very much comes down to the individual, but I think somebody could do it. So.
No. I don't know. I don't know. We almost got Ace Ventura Star Wars movie out of those other guys from the Lego movie.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, say it with your butt cheeks. Anyways,
we'll see.
I think it's a good move so far.
Yeah, and if it goes that way, hey, keep it there. It's just like at some point, depending how long a franchise goes, you're going to have to turn a curtain, and that stands for a lot of things, not just with movies, but with games. Part of the reason that I think we see a lot of titles getting remade, different things like that happening, is a lot of producers are recognizing, hey, well, we're kind of reaching that age. I mean, we can do this, but for so long, you have to have the torch passed at some point. It has to.
Yeah.
So, well,
I thought the switch from George Lucas to J.J. Abrams was an appropriate one.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm a fan of Force Awakens. I thought it was good.
I like it.
I understand some people's complaints, but generally speaking, he did what was probably an impossible task to even think about, which was, hey, how do I bring back the most successful movie franchise after 35 years?
Yeah. About that.
Yeah. And then we've seen what happens in the wrong hands. Very pretty turd. Very pretty, though. It's very pretty.
Glitter?
It's very glittery. Which, by the way, all right, now I'm on it.
There he goes.
Now I'm on it.
There he goes.
By the way, is there any reason why neither the Resistance nor the First Order, why any of them should use anything other than hyperdrive technology to just blow each other up at this point? Is there any reason why you don't use unmanned drones and put them in hyperspace and just shoot them at each other?
Seems pretty effective, if you ask me.
Yeah. Why do anything else at this point? That's all right. We'll just leave everybody in all the corners from our crap ass movie because we don't care. The lack of responsibility seen by Rian Johnson for that movie is just daunting.
Oh, man.
But yeah, screw Jedi.
Yeah.
You have a Jedi sitting on a planet. Just throw a spaceship through it in hyperdrive to blow up that damn planet.
Well, I mean, we've already established a new power of being able to maintain a projection from light years away. So that's the next logical step, right?
Everybody has a Death Star now. It's called their spaceship.
See?
Hyperdrive. All right,
I love it. Had to get one in if we visit that.
I tried not to. I'm a little too grumpy today, though.
If I had a grumpy cat GIF for you, I'd put it on screen right now. Love it. All right. Well,
as an idiot.
This won't make you as grumpy. Maybe kind of grumpy because it made me grumpy.
Maybe this will make me grumpier.
Yeah, this made me. And look, I'm a fan, man. I'm the guy that's been sitting here trying to prop Square stuff up, but for goodness sake, this is just killing me. This news comes from the long anticipated FF7 remake that 3 years ago at E3 we got the first trailer. We've had one since then, and pretty much key art, a couple of screenshots, an interview or two with Nomura, but other than that, silence. The last thing before this piece of news that I heard about remake was Square's financial quarterly report. We're talking about 2018 being a big year for FF and pushing remake, but nothing on the books. No release date, no commitment to part 1, no frame of how quickly we'll be seeing the rest of the parts release after each other, or how many parts this is going to be all together. It's all over the place. But one tidbit of news came by about FF7 remake this week, and that is in regard to an FF 30th anniversary event that happened. Now, this was a select event. This wasn't something that I don't think it was live streamed or broadcasted everywhere, but it really was a fan event based in Japan. And there were a couple of pieces of key art and renders of the Cloud model. Now, the Cloud's design has apparently been shifted. It's been changed. And we're not going to get these photos soon. I don't know when or if Square is actually going to release them.
You'll find them on IGN first.
Yeah, I will. Good point. But...
And I won't know. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. It's just... This really sucks. It boggles my mind. I mean, this could be a good thing with the design change in and of itself.
Oh, yeah.
One thing we've heard from not only you, Chris, but a lot of fans have said, okay, we get it, the whole thing with Cloud looking sick, Mako poisoning, etc. But he, eat a sandwich, buddy.
He looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, eat a sandwich. I would have loved it if they would have released just one picture of Cloud actually eating a sandwich, and then showing what he looks like now, or maybe not what he looks like now, but what he will look like because he has eaten a sandwich.
Right.
By the way, I understand that a lot of people point at it with the whole what kind of poisoning?
What?
What's poison?
Mako poisoning.
Yeah, whatever. There's nothing stating that that's going to make you look like you're almost Skeletor.
Skeletor. Oh man. I mean,
yeah,
even Skeletor
that's
is
not yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean.
I'm with you. I'm just jiving.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just whatever. Hey, you remember a year ago when we first started doing this, and one of the first things we talked about was that Square Enix had acquired a 3-game deal with Marvel.
Oh, right.
Have we seen anything with that yet?
Not besides some of the other promotional stuff and some of like the merchandise that. Yeah. I don't have anything gaming wise with that. Yeah, I try to keep a bit of an eye on that, but not that I know of.
I mean, it's been a while now. Marvel's going to be changing everything here, so I don't know. I just thought that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. All right.
One day, coming soon. Trademark. But please, look, tell us something. Hey, I'm going to say this: if they don't have something this year for E3 2018, FF7 remake.
Oh, they've got to.
They have to. At this point, it would be PR suicide. Now, it's teasing's one thing, but to the extent that they've sort of dragged this out and dragged this around, I'm fully expecting it, and a lot of details besides just aesthetic, and look. The finalized designs being revealed, hoping as well a time frame for the release. Failing that. At least how many parts is this thing going to be?
I'm going to go one step further. I think you have to have a playable demo.
Hey, I'm with you.
I'm not saying that gets released to the public, but at least for people there, I think you have to. There has to at least be a report that there's a playable demo and that people at E3 were able to try it out.
Yeah, because the last thing this needs to hit is a development hell and go on into PS5 or whatever else. We're in the late PS4, we're in the PS Pro era, the second, third versions of consoles, the slim versions have passed and gone. It's time for this to really get on the road. It's time for this to get on the books and for people to really get hands-on with it. So I actually agree. The more we could get, even if it's just a part of the first reactor bombing mission, I think would be great. And it's actually annoying. They tease at that a lot. Even the some of the FF mobile games out there, like Mobius, they've done like cross-promotional events for FF7 Remake, and they have part of the bombing mission. Like, there's more FF7 Remake stuff scattered in random entries in random mobile games than we actually have of playable things ourselves, and I don't get that. So, please, tell us something. What do you want to do with this Square? So, who knows, man.
It's not even on my radar.
Yeah.
I've said if they're still going to release this in multiple discs, which is so dumb, I will at least buy the first one. Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games ever, but this is not even on my radar because of what this company does. I'm just not even there. It's just like The Last Guardian. At some point, I just had to check out. It took them 10 years to make that game, and eventually we got it. Half-Life 3, similar thing. It's just like eventually we'll see Half-Life 3 eventually. No one's going to throw away that IP. That would be stupid. But,
right.
Eventually. Sooner or later. Until then, get him a sandwich.
Yeah, maybe a Whopper or double.
Would that be funny? Funny though, and I don't put it past them. I mentioned this before the show. If they actually make him look skinnier.
Oh gosh. Oh
Oh,
gosh.
that I may not play. That is my hero. I don't know because he's on the border right now, and I don't know if maybe the only reason I would still play it is because I know I get to play other characters.
Yeah, for sure. Now you highlighted something key, and they've already pointed at this in the little gameplay we have seen. Being able to go between characters, and not just a character's turn you hit and select a spell to use or a limit break or something. That's going to be really cool because it's looking like everyone's selectable should be pretty well fleshed out. From the little we saw Cloud and Barret, you had Cloud doing looked like materia powered sword strikes, and yet Barret using something close to his limit break or like a charge materia, with like weapon arm attacks. So everybody's going to have a different feel, and I think it's going to be really cool to rotate through and see what that's like. Maybe grab a shotgun with Vincent, dash around, wall run, switch up to Red 13, bite something's face off, jump to Tifa, punch something into Oblivion. Yeah, that could be cool, depending how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So
depending on how it's done, I agree. Everything you said would be really cool, depending on how it's done.
All right. Watching it. I'm watching. You're not. I'm watching.
No, you tell me because I'm not watching it.
Deal. The other part of Square News recently, the D23 Expo has been happening. That was this week. The gaming wise, one of the big reviews that came out of that. This is mostly for film, just establish some context. There were announcements from everything from Incredibles 2 to Olaf's Frozen Adventure, the expansions to like Frozen and everything, the Tangled series. So if you're in anything Disney movie related, animated series, this would be the spot to check it out. Just go look up D23. Gaming wise, though, there was a lot of new footage for Kingdom Hearts 3. Something else that's been on the books that actually that does have a 2018 date right now, does not have a month nailed down to it.
Oh, are they still staying this year?
Yes.
Okay. Are we taking bets?
Yeah. Why not? We probably should.
Okay, so now when we talked about this before, we were scheduling things out for the year, and I actually, I laughed when I saw Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 slated for this year.
Yeah.
And I actually took them off the list before you even saw it. I'm like, no, that's not happening. No. But okay, so I would bet that Kingdom Hearts 3 we're not going to see it this year.
Fair bet. And I get, hey, you have plenty of reason why to say that. I understand it. Based off of everything I'm seeing, though, there's a lot more in the books for this than FF7 Remake, and I would not be surprised if we saw this around late fall or something. I mean,
you think all right, so we need to redefine the bet. All right. Because I'm betting that if it does come out this year, they're going to cram that through, and it's not going to be ready. It's going to be an unfinished game. It's going to be buggy. It's it's going to be wrong. I could see Square Enix, because they've done it before.
Yeah. Just
cram a game through to make sure it's out. So, I would have to say that I would bet that we will not get a polished, completed, finished, appropriate game. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
That's what I would say.
$5.
$5?
Yeah.
I won't even pay for my trip to the theater, buddy.
Hey man, you want free movies? You'll get one of those movie passes or something. Seriously, we should consider that, because I mean, you can basically go in and see whatever you like without having to pay over and over again.
That's true. So okay, so you're betting that you will get a finished, polished game.
I think so.
Okay. So and we'll figure out the terms of major glitches or whatever and stuff, and
sure.
We'll figure all that out. All right. So, and for $5.
Yep.
All right, a box of Bunch of Crunch.
Bunch of Crunch.
That's $5 at the theater. So, a box of Bunch of Crunch, which is the best stuff to eat at the theater.
Love it. I don't think we don't even have that down here, man.
You don't have Bunch of Crunch?
No. Sucks.
Well, I know they had it in Austin.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it didn't spread in Tennessee. Don't ask me, man. I don't know.
You're missing out. I'm gonna have to send you some Bunch of Crunch. Well, and if I lose the bet, I will.
All right. All right, we'll see. We'll see this year, man. I mean, it's one of those that can go either way, and I think you got a strong case. Frankly, I'm just gonna go out just from following this one around. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I think they're gonna do it.
Are
So,
you going to get it?
oh
If it
yeah,
comes out? Okay. All right.
definitely.
Well, then I'll at least put you down on the list for Kingdom Hearts 3 for review.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I've the real quick. The problem with the KH series is usually there's a lot of external crap you got to know before you delve into the next mainline game, which can be really really annoying. So I got in this process of, I mean, because I don't own a Nintendo DS and 50 other portable things. This important note: these games don't get released all on the same console. They're on a million different little mobile things and everywhere else, but they're all supposed to be relevant to the main
Oh, God.
the next main game. So it's irritating. It's really annoying. I've kept up from afar with what I need to. I played the first two games, Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and this is just going to fall in line with something I pick up. So if I review it, I do it. Not.
I'm not a fan of the Disney cartoons per se.
Right.
I like some of the newer ones, but I've never even watched one of the older classics all the way through. So I remember, seeing Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and it just, I mean, it was turn-based. I think it was the first one, but like Goofy and Donald Duck's in your team.
Yeah,
And it's like I don't. It's like I don't want to play with Donald Duck.
it's actually always had like an open world action-esque feel to it. Like there's never any like random battles. You just sort of whatever you run into, you just pick right up and you just go. I mean, it's everything's sort of like continuous.
Yeah.
But no, I get you, man. In fact, I remember when I first looked at KH, I literally said to myself, like, that looks dumb. Like, how can you have Square and then like FF style stuff with like Donald and Goofy? That's like whack.
Well, and from those who like it, they say it's beautiful.
Hey, I'm just, this is coming from somebody who's played through the first two games. I thought they were fun, and I thought they were pretty well executed. Actually, one was better executed than two. Two, it felt like the Disney elements were sort of there and like tacked on, but it was way more about this sort of convoluted story. But one's execution, I think, is something important for PS2 games.
How long has it been since Kingdom Hearts 2? I mean, I don't follow it, but I'm feeling it's been like 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah, something in that neighborhood, by all means. So they've done re-releases of this, but Kingdom Hearts 2 first came out December 2005.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Right.
and I mean, we've had a remaster or two and things like that. In fact, just recently, last year, we had a sort of compilation that was, it's like KH2 and like the major story events of the other games that around that. Some of like the prequel, post prologue stuff. They would just put that all into one game. But yeah, it's
All right.
since 2005, so it's crazy.
There it is.
This is how long you should get used to waiting for Square stuff. If you
That's
know,
they get used to it.
yeah,
I just don't care.
yeah.
Even if they announced they were going to be making an RPG Marvel series, which I think we had this conversation about a year ago.
Yeah.
I would not wait for it. I would just, I like 10 years later when it finally comes out, if I saw it at the store, I might pick one up.
Right.
I know this is ridiculous. And I've been, like I said, I've been through this. Half-Life 3, which will eventually come out. But The Last Guardian, which did come out. It took them over 10 years, but they got it. I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. It's ironic because I'll have a review out here in the next 48 hours for the Shadow of the Colossus remake. But I waited and I waited. And then it's just like, and every once in a while I would just look it up. I'm like, is there anything new? No? Yes? All right, cool. And I would go on. I'm not going to, yeah. This is, I mean, I appreciate that, that studio for what they do. I mean, they've made one of the most beautiful games ever. The primary example of art as video games. But I don't. Yeah, Square Enix. I mean, this is all just recycled money-making trash. So that's my feeling on it. And hey, if you like that stuff, that's awesome. Tell me about how much I suck in the comments, because I don't like it. But my roots come from there as well. So, um,
There you go.
yeah, yeah. So to sum it up, in my grumpy mood today, fuck it.
Yeah. Do it live.
Do it live. No,
Yeah.
whatever. That's where I'm at with it. Okay, let's wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap up. Spinning up the last piece of gaming news here. This is from Nintendo Switch. Now, this is on the eShop. There's an announcement that came out this week for a gold point conversion campaign. This is launching next month for March. The idea is you'd be able to convert your gold points that you earn wherever you purchase. So let's say, for example, you spend $50. That will net you about 250 points, or translates to $2.50. If you don't have enough points, you can always make up the difference with regular cash. The good thing about this is translating to a cut for games that are going to be for sale on the eShop. So this is not a cut in the cost of the Switch itself, but if you shop for games in the eShop, and this is for Europe too, they've already done the pound conversion, you will be able to pick up stuff cheaper.
So this is almost into something really awesome. So let me clarify. Mm-hmm. You get gold coins or gold points. It's gold points through purchasing things only.
Yes. So the basic idea, it's like each gold point, quote unquote, has sort of like a value, and this is a really good thing if you buy like games in like bulk, or if you buy in bulk, like you spend like $40 or $50, that'll get you a sum of points that you can use and convert over. So,
but you cannot get gold points from playing the games.
No, not what I see.
So it's cool, but it's not as cool as I thought it was.
Right.
Okay. I was just saying that would be awesome if you were pulling off some exceptional stuff, or if you could. And I'm not saying you give away $1 for every little thing that somebody gets does in a game, but if if they complete the whole game.
Right.
Or if they've even bought something through a microtransaction, throw them $1 for something.
That would rock. Yeah,
that would be great. But this is still cool.
It's a start. I mean, it's something. The good thing about it, like let's say you throw down $120, you pick up 3 or 4 titles. That'll be able to, that'll put you some cash aside to either you can sit and just mass up to save on your next purchase, or it's just a little something you can put in something else. So, yeah, it works.
Good on you, Nintendo.
Cool.
Oh, so yeah, I should say this. We talked about this before the show. I'll talk about this real quick. So, Nintendo I'm grumpy today. I'm gonna be bitching some more here. Nintendo can still kiss my ass, but remember when I said that I will give them a break when I can walk through a store and casually see an NES and or an NES Mini going in the store?
I remember.
Yes, half of that has come true. I have now been able to casually find SNES Minis in stores now. That is not true for the NES Mini, though.
Dang it.
So they can still kiss my ass, but they're getting there. They're getting there. And so I need to say that.
Well and good. Good.
You're almost there.
Fair enough, man. Good deal. All right. Other than that, I say it's time for an info minute.
Oh, I don't give your info minute a lot of hope. Not with my mood today.
No, you don't. But I'll open it up. I'll take you back to your school days. Maybe it'll make you happier. You had
a
little popsicle in your hand or something like that.
I had a lot of popsicles. I can't talk today. I had a lot of popsicles when I was a kid.
Oh, man.
You know what were the best? The Jell-O pudding pops.
I had those. Those were good.
God. You can get them now, but they're not the same.
Sucks,
those are so great.
Well, hey, let me ask you. Did you ever go to a school where you had to wear uniforms?
Nope.
Never, not once, never had to deal with that?
Mm-mm.
Once in my life, for a couple years when I lived in the UK, I went to a school. You had to wear uniforms. You say the whole deal with the the blazer, etc. And I got used to it over time. I thought a little uptight at first, but I got relaxed, fell into it. It wasn't anything that exorbitant. So I don't know. Most of the time, even here in the U.S., uniforms cost somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 200 to $300, or maybe like for everything, including all the accessories, all that good stuff. And
it seems a little steep.
I know it does, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, it's part of the admission fees or whatever else you want to call that. But ran across a little something here that just took this to a new level. Turns out there is a primary school over in Japan near Tokyo, in a very the prominent shopping district, the Ginza district, that they want their students, so of course the parents and students, to purchase Armani uniforms that cost upwards of $700 in past. Now, this sort of brings into something when we talk about, the education system and, uniform dress code and not having it. I've heard voices over the years for, vouching for some private schools and things having uniforms for students to wear to kind of keep everybody in a, not focused on fashion this and fashion that, but just having the basic wear. But the question here is this something that's sending the wrong message? Like, besides that ridiculous cost, which I think is insane. Yeah. I don't even think that even includes, maybe all the rest of the extras that the kids would have to look into getting. But, yeah, this is just gouging.
So it's Armani, you said?
Giorgio Armani.
Yeah. And this is in Japan.
Yep. It's, again, in the Ginza district. The school is called the Taimei Elementary School.
And Armani's the only place that you can get the uniform.
Yep.
See, now that's just messed up. And I realize that for a lot of these places that have uniforms and such, there's one, maybe two different outlets where you can get it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you're really taking advantage of the situation, I think, if you're asking them to pay a minimal of $700.
Yep.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. And
I like Japan up until now, and I don't like the whole country anymore. The whole country. Yeah. I seriously, I'm sorry. I mean,
no, go ahead.
But seriously, this is a dead serious on my bucket list of things to do before I die is to walk down the streets of Japan in a Godzilla costume.
Chris.
This is dead serious. Because I've mentioned it once or twice before. You can probably tell through my voice. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'7".
Yep.
I'm a giant of a person in Tokyo. So walk down the streets in a Godzilla costume. I'll even be making the noises, going down. I don't know, just all kinds. Just that's the thing. And since you brought it up, anyone in a school uniform, I would set on fire first. Burn up their $700. You know what takes me off about that? I mean, because these uniforms, what they last. Well, okay. So let me ask before I say this.
Yeah.
For what grades? How old? What age?
So when we talk elementary age in Japan, that's somewhere we're aiming around the 3rd and 4th grade-ish range. I'll pull up an exact age for you, but...
Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much. It kind of does when you're getting older, but there are still growth spurts. I mean, these uniforms are going to last maybe 2 years.
Right.
So you're going to have to buy one again. And if it's elementary school, you go through elementary school for what, typically, kindergarten to grade 5. At least that's in the U.S.
Right.
Give or take a grade. You're looking at having to buy a uniform at least 3 times.
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's $2,100. Minimal.
And even crazier, you factor this in. So most schools like this have like some form of exam that students have to complete, either for placement or for the general gauging of their education level, whatever that is. But there's usually fees with that too. So you add exams on top of that, and that's another, I don't know, like maybe 10,000 yen or so, which is a little over like $100, like more like 140, 150 or something like that.
Well, and I believe in Japan, school goes year round, doesn't it?
I cannot confirm that. Sure, I
know the U.S. is not completely different than most countries when it comes to that, but I believe most Asian countries, They go year round. I know it. Yeah,
Right.
I know it's the case in China. Now, and that is, by the way, my assumption on that is that there's only one uniform. They're probably already buying two, because it's not like the parents are going to send their kids into the same stinky uniform every day all week until the weekend. So there's probably buying at least two of them, which would put it up to $4,200.
Burning it.
This is ridiculous. See, now you would probably not be surprised if I told you that they were lucky if I even went to school in clothes at all. No, I was dressed.
Oh man!
But no, if I would have burnt the place down if it was a place that would require to use. That's not happening. And if I'm forced to go to school here, guess what? There's no school here.
Ain't happening.
Yeah, that's what would have happened. No, that's dumb. That is, you know.
Don't get out as the kids.
Yeah, I mean this stuff with schools now, it's getting so bad because you go to a cafeteria in a school and there's all this soda and candy and stuff, and I mean, hey, that's some of my favorite stuff. But I mean, there's lobbying to have those machines in there so that people can make money off of them, and they're just not good for kids. Not to have that kind of accessibility. This is kind of the same thing. This is obviously some kind of setup where Armani would make these things, and of course, they're the only place where they can get them. So it's just like guaranteed money on the fact that parents need to have their kids go to school.
Yeah.
It's an exploitation that I just don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I agree with most exploitation. But not this one.
I'm with you, man. So
this info minute sucks.
See, I did succeed in making you grumpier.
You did. You kind of did.
Oh, man. Well, that'll do it for us, though. And hopefully by next week, there will be stuff, that'll make you less grumpy, like Black Panther.
Oh, I'll be fine. It was just a bad week. I had to go out and shovel 20 times this week. And
that sucks.
Just bad news all over the place, and I'm not feeling too great today. So, sorry, people. But hey, sometimes when I'm grumpy like this, I'm more fun. So
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But hey, stay tuned in. We are going to have more coming from our canned episodes leading up to the release of Avengers Infinity War. Going back, checking out the Marvel films that brought us here. Of course, Black Panther will be spoiler and non-spoiler next week, and our regular show each week. But till then, that's it for us. Thanks for tuning in, and take it easy.
Grumble.
Grumble. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it's great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksawmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find, maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.